Hello, lieutenants and children. I got a question. This wasn't a video request. This was just a question someone has asked me, and I've been asked it many times in the past before, and so it does kind of actually warrant its own video. So I will answer this question that many people seem to have, and then your question will be answered, and you'll never think about it again, and your mind can wander to other problems. And that is, gee, why don't they teach personal financial management in the public schools? You know, like all these kids who graduate with $150,000 of debt. You would think that they would have the basics of interest calculation, geometric mean, arithmetic mean, the idea of compounding interest, logarithmic calculations, geometric calculations, very basic, probably 8th, 9th, not even 8th, 7th, 8th grade mathematics. They give you the raw mathematical materials, or tools rather, to do the basics of personal financial planning. And you don't even need 7th or 8th grade math. You need 1st or 2nd grade addition and subtraction. If everybody spent less than what they made, there would be no financial problems. I did a tremendously long, boring video about it. I think it lasted 5 seconds. I said, it was titled, "The Solution to All the World's Problems." And I said, spend less than what you make. And that's it. That's how can this simple thing not be taught in the public schools? Well, let me explain to you why teachers will go so far as to teach math, the raw skills to be very good at personal financial management, but not teach actual personal financial management. There are 2 reasons. One, most teachers don't call, I know he's one teacher and he's Republican. I know, that one person. As the remaining 999,000 of them, most of them are not competent enough to teach personal financial management, right? I'm gonna say this again for the cheap seats. We have our dumbest people teaching our children. And if you don't believe it, look up who has the lowest IQs based on major. And depending on what study you cite, education majors are always ranked either at or near the bottom, with IQs of around like 102, which is average. It really is. People who go into, I'm going to say it again until you freaking get it, people who go into education are lazy people who aren't that bright. Right? Again, you're 17 years old. Hey, it's June. It's Worthless Degree Awareness Month. What am I going to choose? Petroleum engineering, calculus, science, chemistry, engineering? I want to help the children. You remember the 17-year-old girl? I'm really good with kids. Really? Because you babysat fucking 4 years of your life ago? Really? You think so? That you're going to go? No, it's not anything to do with children. It's an easy math avoidance maneuver. They are avoiding math. They are avoiding challenge. They are avoiding rigor. They are avoiding anything that would make them great. They're going the path of least resistance, and that's why you have scientists and engineers making $100,000 and teachers making $30,000, which is an overpayment in my humble opinion anyway. That aside, you don't have the talent, in my opinion, for these teachers to go and do things like exponential growth. If you said, hey, you invest $100,000 of capital in your 401k, it grows at 5% a year, with inflation of 2% a year and a tax rate of 30% when you withdraw, how much in today's dollars do you withdraw when you retire, or whatever number you want to come up with? I guarantee you 95% of the teachers couldn't do it. The math teachers could, but not even the math. They don't know anything about 401ks. Maybe some savvy math teacher who is aware of investments and manages. They just don't. Can you make a contribution to my 403b good money? Okay, bye. Summer's off. That was my teacher impersonation. Do you understand I don't like teachers? You get that impression? I only had to suffer most of them for 17 years of my life. So I don't really believe there's the ability of teachers to teach it. The second reason, and this is not Alex Jones conspiratorial, black helicopters. I'm being deadly serious about this, and you could go ahead and prove me wrong. Could you imagine what would happen to the Democrat Party and all the funding that goes to the public schools, and therefore the teachers' unions and the administrators' unions and the education industry? Could you imagine if kids understood the concept of spending within their means? Do you know what would happen if they realized and fully understood the concept of a budget and the idea of the ruination that occurs if you go into insolvency or bankruptcy? They wouldn't vote for a Democrat in a million years because the Democrats keep jacking up social spending. Don't give me your military spending. I got a chart. It's not military spending. The reason we're having deficit problems is because of social spending. Look it up. I know it's too hard. Just go watch the Kardashians or something. Anyway, if these kids actually learned about budgeting and finite resources and genuine economics, the teachers, by the time that generation of kids got to, start voting out all these people in office, hey, we can't do that. That's not a balanced budget. This is going to result in bankruptcy. This is going to result in inflation. This is going to result in lower standards of living. There would be a third of the teachers left because they'd realize, hey, you know what? The concept of school is like we put a bunch of kids in one room and have one teacher teach them. That's the whole idea of education. The idea shouldn't be one-to-one student-to-peer ratio. That's not efficient. As a matter of fact, with technology, we could do massive, online classes, and we could have one teacher teach thousands of students. Matter of fact, we really don't need public schools at all. We should just, homeschool and self-educate and then have tests out. Anyway, I'm giving a wish list. But yeah, the teachers' unions absolutely know what handful of smart, devilish people they have in there. They know that if their kids ever got educated in things that mattered, that would teach them about civics, not social responsibility and like global warming and fucking all this leftist bullshit, but like actual real responsibility, like not mortgaging the future of the children. They're all for the children, but let's just indebt them to the tune of $17 trillion anyway. If these kids actually learned that, they'd throw these leftist, socialist, Democrat bums out. And there wouldn't be the funding for the teachers. And that's why the teachers union, that's why it's not, I knew this was going to happen. Who's calling me now? Some idiot knows that I'm doing this. That's why the students, or the teachers, are never going to teach these students financial management and personal fiscal responsibility, because the entire Democrat Socialist Party depends on people being irresponsible and ignorant of basic personal finance. Because if people were responsible and they actually spent within their means, they wouldn't require bailouts. And then there's, well, wait, why are you bailing out the single mom with 4 kids from 8 different dads? The math doesn't work, but most people don't care. Wait, hey, that's unfair. I did everything right. I did everything. You're gonna, and then they'd idea of parasitism. They realize just how much they're getting screwed over. So I say it is purposeful, and they purposely keep these kids uneducated and ignorant in that particular field. So that's it. That's why you don't have, I know some schools do offer, please do not email me. Well, my school does. Thank you. You're one of about 100. Averagely speaking. I do know some schools do teach some basic personal financial management, but those are your 2 reasons you don't see it in the vast majority of schools. Is the teachers are not competent enough to teach it because they themselves don't understand the math behind it. And 2, if they ever did, they would be, they'd actually have to work for a living. They'd be cut, their budget would be cut, and they'd have to get a job in the private sector. That's all we got. Toodles.